How is everybody? I hope you guys are doing good. I don't see my thing moving, so can you guys hear me? Give me just a sec. There it goes. Okay. Hi, you guys. How are you? I hope everybody's doing good on this Thanksgiving Thanksgiving Eve evening. Let me say hi to you guys. Hi, Mr. Shine. Hey, Music City. Hey, oh, now I forgot how to work Streamlabs. Oh God, it's always a struggle. Hey, Kwai, how are you? Hey, Neat Noodle. Hey, another Amy. Hey, Cement Shoes, Vanessa, Petunia, Jenna. Good to see you guys, Jennifer. Hey, hey, hey. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Mike. Guess what day it is? Hump day. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're, those of you guys who celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope all of your prep is done and you've practiced whatever coping skills you may need, to deal with family. I mean, listen, even the most loving, wonderful families have dysfunction, and there's always that one person that shows up at Thanksgiving. They're like, bruh, no, I don't want to deal with that person. So, whatever coping mechanism works, use it. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. I think that I might be alive on Thanksgiving, but like later. Um, so it's just me, the hubs, and my youngest son this year for Thanksgiving. So we're just going to do like a little turkey, a little mashed potatoes, some dressing, and my favorite cranberry sauce. I love the jellied canned Ocean Spray cranberry sauce. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap what anybody says. I'm sure that there's tons of recipes out there that are just delicious, but no. I don't want to try them. I'm sure they're fantastic, but my heart is in the can of Ocean Spray jellied cranberry. If there are not lines in the cranberry sauce where you're supposed to cut them from the can, it ain't for me. That's all I know. Hey, Megan, good to see you. That's my favorite. I love the Ocean Spray jellied cranberry. And then I got like a pumpkin pie. So it's just, just a little something, just a small something. It's just the three of us. There's like no big, huge deal, I'm not like Thanksgiving's not like a huge, big holiday for me. I like Christmas. Christmas is what I like. Thanksgiving is a lot of work, a lot of cleanup. And I don't know. It's like by the time I've cooked everything, I used to do the big Thanksgiving because I had all the kids and then we had friends and family and blah, 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 blah. So I used to do the big Thanksgiving and, I did all the cooking and of course all the cleaning. And to me, it's just like all I can like, it just feels like a lot of work. So it's not something that is, super exciting for me. Like Thanksgiving's not that big, huge of a deal to me. Oh, Kauai, that's amazing. Your son's first Thanksgiving. So yeah. Hey, Dynamite, good to see you. So that's my plan. But I also want to take a moment, to just for a second to talk about something really quickly. Because, there's a lot of people that this year is going to be like their first Thanksgiving without somebody. They've lost somebody in their family. And, or it's going to be this time of year around Thanksgiving and Christmas reminds people that they are alone. And that's a bummer too. So, when you're out and about on Friday doing your Black Friday shopping, if you do that, if someone's rude to you or whatever, maybe, try to, instead of wanting to throw elbows, maybe just throw them a smile instead, because we never know what anybody out there is going through. Put a little love in your heart, as it were. Hey, Allie, good to see you, babe. So there is my little public service announcement. Feel like don't bring me down. Oops. So, hey, Bushi, good to see you. All right. So, for those of you guys who followed the Chloe Driver trial, okay, that is the Georgia mother. She's not really from Georgia, but that's where she happened to be. So she's the mother who murdered her 13-month-old daughter, Hannah. Z is her baby daddy. That they were in a polygamist, quote unquote, marriage with 2 other women at the time. And she just went to trial and was just found guilty of malice murder and felony murder, and a couple of other charges. But the jury found her guilty but mentally ill, which is not guilty by reason of insanity. So she will serve time in prison. Her sentencing is December 2nd or December 12th. Excuse me. December 2nd is Boone. Chloe Driver's sentencing is December 12th, and I will cover that. I am very curious to see what the sentencing will be for her, because she was found guilty but mentally ill. So I'm curious I'm curious what it's gonna say on paper, and I'm also curious what that's going to look like in real life. So there's that. If you missed the trial, I covered it on my channel, and so it's there for you guys if you want to go back and catch up with that. We still need to recap a few more witnesses, specifically the psychologists that testified for Chloe for the defense. So, also, there is this new trial that starts Monday, okay? And this is a case of a husband and wife, newlyweds, in a golf cart. She was drinking for sure, okay? The golf cart crashed and he was killed. And she's charged with vehicular homicide and some other stuff. So I want to cover that on Monday. Monday is also Sarah Boone's sentencing. So Sarah Boone's sentencing is at 1:30. So I will cover that trial Monday, right? And then probably break for like an hour and then start a new stream for Sarah Boone, because I cannot wait to hear what kind of cockamamie ridiculousness James Owens Esquire comes up with that he thinks are mitigating factors. I'm also very, very curious. I have this sneaking suspicion. Mr. J asked Sarah when she was on cross if she ever used her phone to look at explicit adult material. And she said no, that the only time that she ever looked at that kind of stuff was seeing what George was looking at. And I have a sneaking suspicion he didn't ask that for no reason. He just left it there. I think it's going to come back up because it was something that Sarah yelled at George when he was in the suitcase. He said, "Sarah, I can't breathe." And Sarah said, "me." So I have a feeling that's going to come up as an aggravating factor in her sentencing. I just have this feeling. So that's that for tonight. We're going to listen to jail calls between Z, whose real name is Brian Joyce, but he goes by Benjamin, Ben Michael, and Z. All right. And then his Biffle, Jason Spillers. Jason really idolizes and looks up to Z, and it's kind of like it's so smarmy the way that he's constantly like, I don't know, kowtowing to him, and just it's kind of gross. But Z has been arrested. He was arrested and he's in custody for he got arrested and is in custody a couple of days ago. What it says on his booking information is fugitive from justice, which means that there's he jumped bail, or so. But I'm trying to figure out what his original charges are. It has something to do with Kyle, but I don't even know who Kyle is. So I got to do all this research and whatnot. But right now we can hear the jail calls, and I can roast them without knowing the particulars. That's not necessary. We'll get to that at some point because I don't really have time to do all the homework. I will, but not right now, just because I have something for you guys for Black Friday. That's Sarah Boone ahead of her sentencing. So we'll get to it this weekend. All right. So without further ado, do you guys want to, let me ask you this. Who has been following this case and heard me play two calls the other night? If you heard the two calls I played the other night, put a 1 in chat. If you didn't hear the two calls that I played the other night, put a 2 in chat. Let me know, because yeah, quite. I can't figure out what his charges are at all. It doesn't mean, it's not okay. Let me just say it like this. I haven't found out what his charges are yet. But I also haven't, it's not like I've been digging. What I was really digging for was for last night's stream, and I cannot find it. So last night we were talking about, we were going over Seth Rogers' live that he did, and we were talking about how, trauma can impact memory and, all the things, right? Well, one thing that keeps coming up is that forensics were never done in the house. And I could have sworn that, what is his name? Nick Barris made a post saying that they had been done, but I can't find that post. So that's what I was looking for last night. And that's why I didn't bring it up, because I couldn't find it and I was looking for it. Okay. So let's do this. Hold on. Hold on. Because there's one that's like, all right, hold on. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Because these calls are good. I mean, they're good in the worst kind of way. So what I'm going to do is, and if you, I'm going to share this channel link with you guys right now. It's The Shaming of Jay. I've been checking out his channel, and it's quite good. These are where the calls are from. So what I'll do is just, give me just a sec. All right. There we go. There is his channel. Yes, Allie, they did. Allie said the emergency people with the county did make a thing about all the searches that had been done, like over 10. There were a huge amount of searches done, and they covered a huge area. Also, a lot of people local to the area and even media, also reported that they'd not seen a search like that ever, that big, and that, all hands on deck. So I don't know, Kauai. I'll track it down at some point. I'm going to reach out. I think Nonsense might know. So I'm going to reach out to Nonsense and see if she knows what I'm talking about. So let's go back in. Let's just hold on a second. Hold on, because it's not this one. It's this one, I think. Yes. All right, hold on. So tonight I'm going to play you. There's like 4 calls. Now, Jay just put out another call today, about 3 hours ago, and I'm not gonna play that one because, it takes these calls are not cheap. And, I don't like doing that. But I will tell you, if you're in the mood for jail calls, after I get done with this live, I will unprivate the jail calls from Letitia, and without commentary. So if you just want to angry cook tomorrow, or you're feeling, somewhat resentful because you're up at the butt crack of dawn while everybody else is sleeping, I know how it is. I'll unprivate those and put them out so you guys can have those if you want. Okay. So there you go. All right. Let me share the screen. Also, I'm back on the Streamlabs tonight. So, I kind of missed it. I kind of missed being on Streamlabs. So anyway. All right. So let me add this. Ready to go? Yes. So, okay, Allie, I know it's getting late for you, but because there's 3 parts of them? We did one on my channel, one on your channel, and we ended on my channel. I'll wait to do the 3rd part because that has a lot of April. So let's just do March. Sound like a plan, Stan? Okay. Let me know. Message me or put it in the chat, whatever you feel like you want to do. All right. This call is from 11/8 of 2024. Now, I've listened to this call a little bit, and the boys are big mats. They're not happy, and we're gonna hear all about it. So here we go.
Please remain on the line. Hold for acceptance.
Oh, wait, I forgot something. Just a second. Let's hear a word from our sponsor before we get started, because this is important.
And Kai, when you're on Jen Lou's channel, what do you do with the like button?
Smash, smash, smash! Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So smash that like button. All right, you guys, do your girl a favor and keep me in the algorithm. I fell out of the algorithm. All right, here we go.
This is a direct pay call from
Jason Spillers.
an inmate at the chair. Charges for your call have been accepted.
Hey. Hey,
Did you happen to hear? Good. Did you happen to hear that about the no recording thing?
pardon me?
There's an option on this phone to where you can have your phone calls not recorded.
Yeah, you big dummy. It's not for just regular folk, okay? It's to add you to the list to where it's a privileged conversation. You must be an attorney or working for the defense team. See? This is your brain on urine, y'all. But don't drink your own urine.
What'd you say?
The message is if you're a lawyer, you can ask to have your calls not recorded.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Duh.
Well, are you pressing buttons right now, or are they?
Who?
The phone just keeps, it has to do with my rental. The phone just keeps wanting to shift it to a different microphone, if you will.
I got you.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Katie Grover today.
Oh, yeah?
Sure did.
She
That's
came
the
to see you
prosecutor.
face-to-face?
She sure did.
No. Tell me about it.
Yep.
Hold on a minute.
I mean, honestly, I thought it was a pretty.
Hold on a minute. There he is. Our national treasure disaster, MK Lynn. I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. Where you been, MK Lynn? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Edith. Good to see you too, babe. Good to see all of you. Kathy, I haven't seen you in forever either. Good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right, here we go.
Positive interaction. She definitely.
I mean, outside of the fact that she is the state, and outside of the fact that she did what she did to me, I don't really mind her.
What did she do to you? What did she do to you? Okay, first of all, she's not prosecuting you for any crime that you've committed because you've committed crimes in other states. She's taken the my name's Paul and that's between y'all approach. So what are you big, huge mad about? She's prosecuting your baby mama. So what is it exactly that she did to you? I mean, come on. Did she call it like it is? Did she say you're a scumbag groomer? Yeah, she probably did. You are.
I don't
Truth
either.
hurts, buddy.
The color of her face was not vindictive or malicious. That's for sure.
No, the color of her voice wasn't. She was pretty relaxed and matter of fact, and
I don't even understand this gibberish that they're talking. The color of her face and the color of her voice. Are you talking about the tone? I mean, she wants you to testify. So what do you think? She's going to come in there and be rude? What a couple of chumps. All right, here we go.
but go on.
So it was made clear to me that the defense is.
Hold on. Where are my things? I got.
There. Okay, so
Go on.
this is annoying to me. Hold on.
I don't know how they talked to Kawhi.
This is annoying to me because Jason is calling him collect. Okay. Benjamin, Ben Michael, Z, Brian, okay, is paying for this call and he's monkeying around, not listening and not talking in parts. And I really get annoyed with people that do that. Hey, Emily, where is Nay? Her wax melts are amazing. All right, here we go.
But let's get these to see what I'm listening to. Okay, super duper duper. Please go ahead. Jason.
Oh, are you ready for me?
Yeah, I was like, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know how they talked Kawani into this, but the defense counsel, their plan is to try to, and you had slightly mentioned this, but I just didn't fully grasp that is their.
Right. I may have gotten more information talking to her and just said it to you. Did I say it to you in her name or Jerry's?
We'll say again.
Yeah, say that again because it was absolute gibberish. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Jennifer says, I left my family time over the last few days, but I sure miss Jen Lou's snark. Well, thank goodness that's in plenty of supply. I can always be snarky. Hey, Artemis Prime, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate that. That was really generous. I appreciate you doing that. All right, let's try to listen to this yahoo. And let me put on closed captioning because I don't think the closed captions are getting it quite right. All right, here we go.
Basically, everything changed in the world and with this trial once I got through to Jerry.
I see.
I was sitting, and I had a hunch to call Jerry, that he just might answer, and he did.
No, I remember
And
that.
he started in with this.
Okay. So let me get this straight. Z, you thought about calling a person. So you use the phone to call the person, and lo and behold, the person answered. Why would you even be worried that Jerry wouldn't speak to you? He's been speaking to you this whole time. So why are you out here playing with these people? The rudes. All right, here we go.
Yeah, but then I talked to Katie, and I told you that, didn't I?
That their defense is that you're this controlling guy who like forced
But
her
I
into.
told you, we all talked to Katie, right? Are you having trouble hearing me?
Oh?
I am having a little trouble hearing you. Yes.
I don't think he's having any trouble hearing. That's not the issue. What the issue is there some type of code speaking going on right now currently, and the urine-addled brain of Jason Spillers is not picking up what OZ is trying to put down. And Z is getting quite persnickety and losing patience. So huffing and a puffing. All right, here we go.
I told you that I talked to Katie about it. Like 2 days later, she called me. Didn't I get through all this?
I know, but I just didn't fully, perhaps it just wasn't
It's
clear
just
to
hitting
me.
you differently.
Yes, that's their entire defense.
That's their entire defense.
Which I don't know how they talk Kawani into this. I don't know why they're not just saying what actually happened, that she had a mental break, So we talked for a long time. I was in there with him for almost 2 hours today.
You big dummy. You big dummy. Hey, Charlie, good to see you. It's been a minute. Nadine, my boo. Hey. I missed you. Okay, so cement shoes. Let me take you back to a day, trial day number 2. Ironic, isn't it? When they called this clown to the stand, Jason Spillers. And Jason believes that in a healthy lifestyle, he is vegan. He does not do any prescription medication or illicit substances. He is all about being pure. And there are, according to Jason Spillers, there are many benefits, health benefits to drinking your own urine, which is what he expounded on during his testimony. And now, because I am me, it's all that I can hear. And every time I see him, all I can think of is, bruh, you drink your own pee. I can't take you seriously. I'm not going to take you seriously. Even if there was a kernel of smarts rattling around in that brain that just happened to escape out of your mouth into a salient thought, okay? The fact that you drink your own pee negates it. So I can't take this fool serious for nothing. He does look like he should be asking about Geico insurance. He does a little bit, yeah. All right, here we go.
So or like a solid hour and a half or something like, I don't even know how much time passed. It seems like a while. Like and they're coming back on Monday to speak to me again.
Really?
Yes, they are.
So, you know, when I spoke to her, she seemed very keen on you. I don't know why. So much.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that outburst. Okay. So in this dynamic between Z and Jason, Z outranks Jason. Okay. And so Jason is kind of all the time, like, you know, bowing down to him. He's a little subjugated to Z and really, really seeks Z's approval. Right. So, I love you too, Nate. Have a great Thanksgiving, babe. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Bye. Sweet dreams, babe. All right. So, okay. For it's just funny to me that this is supposed to be like his enforcer, the second in command, right? Because the women are never in charge. Like there's no hierarchy in the women. They in this situation, the women, they're just good for cooking and breeding, I guess. And so anyway, he said it's just funny to me that Jason idolizes and looks up to Z so much, and Z just gives such backhanded, snarky ass compliments. You know, like the prosecutor seemed really keen on you. I don't know why. Like, it's just rude. And Jason never, like, I would call him out on it. I'd be like, bro, what the fuck you mean you don't know? Haven't you met me? I'm an effing delight. But not this guy. He just takes it.
But
yeah, like we had like a really good conversation. I mean,
Tony,
and
good to see
the
you.
man who was there were 4 of them
Hey, Crime Horse.
from the district attorney's office. I'm pretty sure one of them was like one of the psychiatrists. But they were all warm and open and receptive to me. And
yeah, they want you to testify.
We ironed.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Yes.
I have tarting going on around me in a parking lot. Basically, let's do something different for a minute so that these tards can get out of here and I can
Wow.
use their time.
What
So,
a piece of shit.
how does it feel to be there?
Well, there's been a lot happening, that's for sure. I was fasting, and then I came in and I just had to eat. Like being driven through all of those fields in Atlanta by them in handcuffs, and then getting here and being in proximity of Kawani's field was just like so much. I was being just
Hold on.
So these are my favorite kind of people. The people that ask you how you're doing, right? And then you tell them how you're doing. And halfway through, you're getting to the peak of your whole story about how crappy it is to be transported, in handcuffs, all the things, right? You're fasting, you get to the jail, and it's the same jail where Kwani is being held at, awaiting her trial, all the things, right? And you're about to go real deep, and this fool, hold on. Shut up, Z. So rude. I mean, I don't like Jason either, but still, have some manners, have some couth. What's the matter with you? Yeah, Jason, just sigh. That's all you can do.
We're just leaving, and we have this giant 2023 Voyager, all our stuff. We're moving, and we stopped at Whole Foods in Wilmington. A fucking cop came over in a service call and said people were, and it just said, I didn't even care. I mean, whatever reason, I just said, not interested. I was very, hold on. They're untarding. now they're
Wow. What a
making
jerk.
they're making much of their exit, but they are unpleasant. Hold on a second.
They're unpleasant? Oh, we get to hear somebody else's conversation. Uh-oh.
They didn't that it's unbelievable. They're now in the middle of the parking lot retarding.
What the F is wrong with you? Stop. I'm gonna talk over this because I'm not gonna let him say that word. It's disgusting.
Now they might be departing.
Oh my gosh. You need to be scared of the po-po-ho.
I was just saying, yeah, I'm very sure that it said that about. Man.
He's concerned. He's got a warrant for his arrest. So I don't know why he's acting like he's thug life.
Why? This guy is changing the frequency of my organs with the disruption of his motor.
Not very enlightened. Neat noodle. Oh, his organs are getting changed. Oh, that's terrible. Drink some more pee.
About.
Oh my gosh. Spit it out, bro. Let's go.
I was just like the energy I needed was just immediate there. So it's like not interested. Yes, whatever. Rental, traveling. But then after like I was real gruff with him, he just got the fuck rid of him. He's a young, knocked on my window. Immediately pisses me off. And I go and see them and they just knock on my window. And it's like I'm just out there on Olander Street and it's like at the Whole Foods and it's like, what the fuck? And then it didn't occur to me till after to be like, number one, I'm driving a 2023 Chrysler Voyager. How fucking homeless does that look?
Yeah.
Like,
well, considering that it's a rental and you look very unkempt, I think what he was checking on is to make sure that you're authorized to drive a 2023 Voyager. Okay? I mean, look at you. You look like you're allergic to soap and water. Let me remind you, just so y'all can know what he looks like. Hold on. Okay. And I will tell you that is his, the picture on the thumbnail is from the photograph at Thanksgiving. But the new mugshot looks quite similar to this. So this is why they're knocking on your window over at the Whole Foods, bruh. That's why. Because you don't look like that Voyager belongs to you. Like you look like you might not have permission to drive that Voyager.
What a retarded thing to say.
Wow.
And if for some reason I was in my 2023 Voyager, and I came and I was sitting there eating food I just got, so the fuck what? Like, why is that a service? Like, I don't even believe you.
I see.
It's like, I guess because we were walking Etowah around the parking lot so you could get some air. You know, whatever. It's retarded. And I just got completely uncomposed by this dumb motorcycle. Anyway, I was trying to pull over because I'm very tired and I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, like, let me ask you. Thank you, Tony. This is where I was trying to get. This is the weirdest flex ever. Your 2023 Voyager and what? What does that even mean? I mean, yes, when you're talking to a person who called you collect from jail, the bar is so low for what's impressive. Like, you get to go to the bathroom and you don't have 15 people watching you. Okay. That bar is very low. I mean, what the fuck? It's the weirdest, stupidest flex ever.
Sleep, even though I wish I was further along, just like right when you called anyway. So back to telling me how it feels to be there.
I had to eat when I
And
got
you were
here.
just overwhelmed with the immensity of her field, you said.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and everybody, not so much her. Kawani's field is open.
You know what's weird to me? Like, why does he ask about? I need to understand what the real status between Chloe and Z is. What's really going on there? Because the way he talks, the way Z talks about her, it seems like if they had their way, they'd be communicating. And there's something I don't know. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
And pleased to see me, and warm. And after I ate, it's everybody else. It's not her. It's everyone else that doesn't want me here doing work before this trial and doesn't want her to feel that sense of support that I'm trying to send to her right now.
What?
The Christophers of the world, you know? Most specifically him that keeps coming up because he's been in this building before.
Oh yeah,
and
that's true. And so I'm undoing it when and Jerry wouldn't remove him.
yeah.
So wait a minute. Back the milk truck up. So what? See, when somebody who's in jail says things like putting in work, okay, that means something very different in jail than it does on the outside. Okay. So whenever I hear him say putting in work, it stirs a specific connotation in my brain. But I also know at the same time, this dude ain't putting in, that's not what he's talking about, right? So what is he talking about? I don't know. Is he cleansing auras, realigning chakras? He's clearly a Christopher hater. I don't know who Christopher is or what Christopher did, but the friendship door is closed. Hey, Shelly Bean. Jason, excuse me, Christopher, if you're out there listening, you and Jason's friendship, it's over. He doesn't like you. Y'all ain't going to be friends. No. All right, here we go.
There's a...
No, there's only one of them, though, that really seems to be active permanently, I guess. We were saying that we're trying to neutralize it. It's just Filgera. It's all Filgera. Behind Peter and just all this is Filgera. It's just Filgera.
Hey, Michelle, happy
And the
Thanksgiving
only
Day.
reason got the power is very much Smith and Neo. The only reason that Filgera has his power is because we went to Mars. Because we went there, we switched to dead fossil, but we have some life force.
What?
Go on, though. You ate.
I started to feel very welcomed by Kawani, and the whole field of this building started to change a lot.
Are we doing astral
And
projection?
that's it.
Listen.
And so here I am. I'm like,
I mean, I've been there so many times.
Listen. Let me stop you two clowns right now, okay? I know y'all are having a conversation, just the two of you, all right? But you're being recorded. So the internet at large is listening. And it's a little difficult based on your lame ass context clues to understand what you guys are talking about. So it sounds, I don't know what they're doing. They're clearing forces. Listen, I believe in energy work. I just don't believe these two can do energy work. Okay. But let's continue.
To the jail?
I've been there. Well, I mean, outside it, I never obviously go in. I've been there
Right.
like 4 times. I mean, I've been there like 4 times just recently. I mean, Anna and I were there multiple times back in July. And I've been there like so many times. I don't know why I said 4. That's hardly even true. In the last 4 years, I meant to say, I've been there so many times.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's easy to confuse. I've been there 4 times with 4 years. I mean, I make that mistake, because time is really relative. And if our watches were accurate, they would all say now. Fuck off.
So I'm saying I've done a lot of work beforehand for you.
Sure. Beautiful.
On Univerter.
What? Univerter?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm, doing my best. I'm still trying to do some intermittent fasting to keep my body at its prime operating capacity for this work that I need to do.
Oh my God.
You know what I didn't ask, and I really meant to?
What's that?
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
Oh no! You better spit it out. Hurry up.
In my first call with him, and I never returned to it.
What?
Was where the venue was. I never even asked. I mean, is it just downtown Canton?
Where the courthouse is located?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have Google Maps?
At the Cherokee County Courthouse.
I would say.
Back when this first came out in September, and I wanted to ask him, I wasn't sure if it was the high-profile nature, if it was actually happening at a venue in Atlanta.
Oh my God!
No, definitely not. No, this crime happened in Cherokee County. She's been stored in Cherokee County. The trial will be in Cherokee County.
Yeah, I get that. I just wanted to cross it off my wonder.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that.
I know that you're enlightened in the ways of criminality, as it were, okay? Because you've been arrested multiple times and you're sitting right now with some serious charges, bruh. But they can and have moved people out of the county from which they're being charged, where they're charged at, okay? It's not mandatory that if you're charged with a crime in Cherokee County, if it is a high-profile enough crime and you're a high-profile enough prisoner, they're not going to store you. They don't have to store you in Cherokee County, okay? But I know that that's, I've overstepped my bounds with my tiny little girl brain and all that. My bad.
I mean, I don't know, maybe they would, but that would be extremely unconventional.
So
this call will be terminated in 1 minute.
At 60 seconds. Come on,
I
let's
was trying
go.
to make a joke that I know it says that thing you were picking up on is for attorneys only, because I've obviously heard this message hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I just didn't know that, so I was just mentioning it. I'm going to call you right back right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that because you have
Thank you.
You have taken and been called by Chloe many times, and you've accepted those calls many times. In fact, the only reason that you're not talking to her is because the jail won't let you. All right, hold on. It's this one, I think. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Let's see, we played that one. Okay. All right, here's the next one. I'm tired, you guys. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm a little off my game tonight. All right. I've been working on Sarah Boone, and sometimes her intentional obtusiveness, her being intentionally obtuse gets to me after a while. So I'll shake it off. I'll be all right. All right, here we go.
Thank you. Please remain on the line. Hold for acceptance.
Yeah, hold for acceptance, Jason. Acceptance, it's never going to come from this dude. Well, let me take this banner
This is a
off.
direct pay call from. Charges for your call have been accepted.
Hey.
Hey, they cut us off earlier, man. I couldn't. They lock us down from 4 to 6:30 every day. So
I figured it out. Remember, I'm familiar with this particular pattern here.
yeah, for sure.
Also, I considered the fact, while I couldn't exactly remember what that was, that while Cherokee County seems to have one of the most functional operating systems, it's user-friendly and very consistent, the local hardware seemed to be pieces of shit. There would be constant periods there where the phones just were broken for days.
Yeah. Well, this isn't the worst job I've been in, but it's definitely not the best. Like.
Yes. And even
right.
though you're in the men, it just sounds like there's a whole gaggle of women behind you.
Okay.
Well, there are.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. This is a fantastic conversation. You two are geniuses. Geniuses. You've been fasting for 2 or 3 days, Jason, and homeboy over here picks on women. But you two clowns think it's a good idea to talk shit and call the men that are in the guys in the jail behind you women. Fantastic. I hope they snatch you by that one stringy hair that's hanging that just won't curl. That stubborn hair.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's up?
No, just cooling it, man. Waiting to get this over and done with. I have, yeah, I mean, I'm just, I personally am really eager to do this trial and just get some closure on, I personally am feeling like I'm going to get a lot of closure on them. That's still just like an open wound.
It feels like it's just going to get stolen from us now. That's what I really
That
feel.
it's what?
It's going to get stolen from us. Exactly what I was saying. It's like this whole thing is about closure for Hannah, and I just feel like it's going to get stolen.
Well, I mean, they're going to try, but I'm still going to get mine.
Because of this whole recording thing, Koo's just going to throw the whole thing and just plead for life in jail.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but that's just like, well, then fuck.
Wait a minute. Wait. Back the milk truck up. Okay, so they keep talking, and this is a common theme, okay, between these two, about something getting stolen from them pertaining to the case. Are they? I mean, I know what Jason testified to, right? He testified that he thought that Chloe should not get prison time. She needed to be punished, but that she needed help and that she should go to, you know, like he said a mental institution. Okay. But Z's reaction is so odd to me. Is it just me, or does it feel like Z is rooting for her to go to a mental institution so they can get back together? Am I like, I mean, I'm not even going to ask you guys if I'm crazy, because yes, but like, am I hearing this right? Is that what they're talking about? Is that what it is that the sense y'all get? Because that's how it feels. It's weird.
Fuck her, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she wants to, if she would rather go through all that than, you know, just take the humiliation. It's like, you know, that's like, then she's
but
just
you're
another
not
one
just
of these
dealing with one. You're dealing
with Donna.
Multiple females here. Like, I don't care if they have a penis. These are all females on that side, and you know what they do. They get guilty and they run. So like, yeah.
That's right. So then she's whatever. Then she's not what she has. Then she she cowered out and became the epitome of what she hated. And
hey, Boo Boo the Fool, are you casting aspersions at the female gender because they're gossipy and they talk shit? Pardon me. What are you two brainiacs doing right now? Gossiping and talking shit. Fuck off.
And became a version of everything that she's been adamantly opposed to, and was supposed to be the embodiment of.
I wasn't sure earlier if they
I'll be right back, you guys.
I was getting to the point where I wasn't sure earlier if we got cut off because, like, we're not supposed to be too, whatever.
Well, I mean, she had the option to be, you know, there was like all that potential in her.
No, I mean me and you. If me and you got cut off because we were two, you know, people who technically shouldn't be.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway,
if she's gonna,
so I
whatever,
just wanted
man,
to
go
say
ahead.
that I talked to K-League, and Katie did say, well, I just talked to her a little bit ago, and I was kind of rehashing what you were bringing out of me, and she said, maybe, I felt like I asked her directly, and I got a no, but anyway, she said Shaylig said they came, which would make sense. That's where I left you with the substantiation problem. If they were going to take that track, then their track has to include
all my
me.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like,
If that track, that's where I was, because based on what John was saying, and I felt like I asked Katie directly, that track can't be substantiated by Eric or Renee. They don't know me like that. They don't know the teachings like that. They didn't witness anything that's being alleged. So that wouldn't do it. You know, and anybody who's me, Shayla, on it, like, that wouldn't do it. So the people who have been better in play, you can't take that track on me. And so the only thing they would have, based on what was exposed, would be to herself. That doesn't look right. So that track has to include a suitcase full of a circus tent. Like, it has to.
Right, no, I get that. Which is still it's still so low and petty. It's like, you know, this man has two wives that he's been married to, both for like 5 years or more now. You know, but that doesn't matter. It matters, right? Like, it matters about some bitch.
Reason.
Yeah, no shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and I, for some reason, for a second there, I thought that you were talking about me. Like, they were gonna. It's like, you want to call it fucking females and let them give them their opportunity to fucking twat their twat in front of everyone. You know, fuck you, man.
I guess I really hear more into Katie's, like, you know, sigh of this is going to be a lot of shrapnel and distraction. I'm like, and I was just hearing it like them alleging things, but if they're bringing in, like, if they really are bringing in,
Shit.
like Toronto,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, like A-Bar, you know, like.
Yeah, it's like, I broke up with this bitch 10 years ago. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is a relationship that's been dead for 10 years. And you want to bring her in to testify? What, like, you know, it's like the more and more frustrated I get with it, the more I hear about it. It's like, this is utter stupidity. And it's sickening because their entire defense is based on a lie. And blah, blah, blah. And we're going to bring it, get their twat on in front of everyone and be like, yeah, Z was like the best thing, and then he did, and then it didn't work out, and I'm mad. And I'm going to say it in front of everyone. I'm going to spit.
Okay, so let me just say this. Okay, let me just recap this real quick in case y'all, and I'm gonna rewind it. All right, because I need to hear this part again. So the conversation that's taking place, what they're talking about is they're talking about the first wife, if you will, of Z. Okay. She also has a child with him. She does testify for the defense. And Z is just pitching a bitch because he doesn't want her up there testifying. That essentially she's a woman scorned and all she's going to do is, you know, talk a bunch of smack and tell a bunch of lies. Here's the deal. What Z is real afraid of, which is what I suspect he was afraid of at the hospital, it had nothing to do with any type of belief system. And we don't need Western medicine's interference. And, you know, women have been giving birth, you know, for 11 billion years and they didn't always have hospitals and blah, 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 blah. Look here, bruh. The day that you grow and carry a human being is the day that you can tell a woman that's when you can choose whether you have that baby. Okay. But since you don't have a uterus, she should have gone to the hospital, which she did, because that's where it's the safest to have the baby. All right. But the true issue is Chloe's age. Okay. Because when she met Z, Ben Michael, whose real government name is Brian, okay, she was 16 years old. She was pregnant when she was 17, and she delivered the baby after she turned 18. Everybody can do the math, okay? All people have to do is count back 40 weeks. It's not that difficult, okay? That's how long it takes to grow a baby. 40 weeks. So I don't know what the age of majority is where she got pregnant and delivered the baby. I would imagine it's not 17. And I would imagine that even if it were, let's say 17, that there are laws about how many years there can be between the two people. So when she was 16, he was 38. So he was pushing, you know, either pushing 40 or right at 40 when she had the baby. That is a huge age gap. We're not talking about a 17-year-old with a 19-year-old or a 17-year-old with an 18-year-old. Okay. That's a huge age gap. And I think that flies in the face of every single Romeo and Juliet law, because usually the Romeo and Juliet laws allow for up to 4 years, but there's also caveats in some states about that. Like like if you went to school together, say, the girl was a freshman and the guy was a senior. There's all kinds of, like extra rules. It's not just flat. So anyway, no, Michelle, the crime took place in Georgia. They were traveling from North Carolina, down to Florida. That was their intended destination. Sarasota was where they were headed. Okay. So they stopped in Georgia to get some stuff out of some belongings that had been stored at this guy Jerry's house, who was a friend of Z. And when they stopped there, Chloe and Hannah, which Hannah is the 13-month-old baby, and the other two wives went into Jerry's house and upstairs to take a nap. The two other wives went in one room. Chloe and Hannah went into another room. At some point, Chloe goes downstairs to the kitchen, takes a knife out of the block, and stabs Hannah 4 times and also stabs herself. And as they're getting ready to leave, the group is like, where is Hannah? So Z goes upstairs. She's locked herself in that bedroom. He breaks down the door and he finds them. Hannah is clinging to life, and Chloe, her injuries were bad, but she ended up surviving. So they charged her with malice murder. Her defense was not guilty by reason of insanity. The jury came back and found her guilty on all counts, but found her guilty but having mental illness, which is a compromise between what the state wanted, which was a straight guilty plea, and what the defense wanted, which was a not guilty by reason of insanity. So what will happen is her sentencing is December 12th. So what will happen is as part of her sentence, they will include time at a mental health hospital. So when the defense was, hey, boss lady, shout out to boss lady, by the way, who emailed me and told me about this other trial that's starting on Monday. Thank you for doing that, babe. I did go and listen to those calls, by the way. We will be going over those this weekend so that everybody can be up to speed before the trial starts Monday. And then in between that, we'll stop listening to the trial Monday and listen to Sarah Boone's sentencing, because I'm not going to miss that. Okay. So the baby comes into it because Z and Chloe conceived a child together. It's Chloe's daughter. It's Chloe and Z's daughter, Hannah, that Chloe stabbed and killed. So let's see what's going on with Crystal. Hey, Crystal, how you doing, babe? Hope everything's okay. Hey, Rachel Lee. So yeah, that's what's going on. Now, I think you're okay. Everybody up to speed. All right. So as part of the defense of the not guilty by reason of insanity, what the defense did was, obviously they put on psychologists who said that she was delusional and, not in control of her faculties. But in order to illustrate the dynamics that existed between Chloe and Z and the other two women, they put on his first wife, who also had a child with him, who was also significantly younger than him, and who ended up taking her child and fleeing. And so, yes, Emily Pickles, yes. And so that is this whole reason why Z is having a hissy fit, because he is big mad that they're going to put her on the stand, because she is a lying liar mouth who tells lies. She is a woman scorned. I found her testimony to be quite credible and quite believable. She did not come off as these two jokers, Boo Boo the Fool, the urine drinker here, and Benjamin, Ben Michael, Z, Brian, are trying to portray her as some, histrionic woman who's just upset because I broke up with, oh, excuse me, I got hiccups. I broke up with her 10 years ago. Whatever, bruh. He was abusive to her too. That's what she says, physically and mentally abusive. All right, here we go.
Spit my juice on everyone. Like, I mean, that's your defense counsel, you stupid pieces of shit. That's what you're doing? Fuck you. This is pathetic, man. I mean, what? And you're right. You're right, because that just steals away any glimpse of light and justice and serenity and closure that we can find for Nimsy. You're right.
Right. I mean, this honestly has nothing to do with me.
That's right.
Nothing I ever did to Chloe Alexis Driver is what caused this. And everything that Eric and Renee Driver and her brothers Aaron and Kyle Driver did to her are the backdrop for her failure.
Okay. I didn't realize that Chloe's brother, one of the brothers' names is, hey, Nat, is Kyle. Could this be the Kyle that they're referring to in another phone call? Also, I would be remiss if I didn't point this out, but, Z, since you are some type, you refer to yourself and feel that you are some type of spiritual leader, right? And you're super enlightened, and, the rest of us just are going along like lemmings off of the ledge, just following each other one after the other after the other. I wouldn't be me if I didn't point out that a truly enlightened being would have reflected on the events surrounding the death of my daughter, and maybe not. At the end of the day, Chloe made a decision. She picked up the knife. She did what she did, and her actions are her actions. Okay. But a truly enlightened being would reflect and accept some small accountability for the role that he played, like instability, moving her around all over, not having jobs, not letting her work until it was absolutely a last resort. You were desperate. There was no money. So then you let her work. And I'm using let because those are the words they use, not my own words, and that she was showing signs of mental illness. And you said, no, let's not get help. I'll just treat you. And I'll have my homeboy Jason over here go get some CBD that's been sitting on a shelf for God knows how long before it then sat in his van for God knows how long. That'll fix it. That'll fix the situation. So, truly enlightened beings can take accountability for the role that they played in the actions of others, the impact the decisions that they made would have on Chloe and on Hannah, your daughter. But, what do I know? My girly tiny brain.
To exist correctly, even in birth.
Hey, Crystal D, good to see you, babe.
And then that carried
hey,
over
Sunday
into,
Doodles.
End quote, our society, and fighting all the demons in her head that were pre-existing. Nothing about this had anything to do with our teaching or anything to do with our way of life.
Yes. Okay. So if all of this came as a pre-existing condition, meaning Chloe had issues, baggage, trauma from being, just from growing up, just her childhood. Her home environment wasn't good. All right, let's say I agree with that. Okay, I don't know. I wasn't there, right? Then you should know that she came like this. So she was damaged in some way. All right. And that she was showing signs of of a mental illness. And your teachings and your way of life are anti any type of interference from any kind of doctor. You didn't want the men in white coats, as you called them, which is really you projecting your own insecurities, because as we're going to find out from his ex, that Ben here is a schizophrenic. But please continue to pontificate. I can't wait to hear the next thing that comes out of that truly genius brain of yours.
Any more than it did with a very slutty drug addict who was attempting to reform herself named Jennifer Torrado.
Well, let me ask you this, by the way, Mr. Anti-government, anti-establishment, don't want the men in white coats, all the things, right? The government is bad, blah, 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 blah. How come it is that you had all three of your wives apply for small business loans or grants that were given to small business owners after the pandemic? I thought you were truly, that you don't need the man. Seems like you do. Chloe was the only one who was able to get that, and it was $150,000. But please continue to tell everybody how material things don't matter. Fuck off.
Neither did it have anything to do with a little whore child of unfortunate childhood sexual molestation from a molestation monster with 4 counts of heinous aggression.
No. It's aggravated sexual assault against a minor under the age of 10. That's the charge.
Okay.
So just to put it in their terms.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
It's a referendum on me taking in the strays and attempting to improve their life, and then constantly having to battle back and forth with the idiosyncratic and erratic and destructive, sabotaging and damaging behavior, and to do the best I knew to mitigate that.
Yeah.
Really? That's what we want to do here?
Yeah, and that helps bring justice to Nancy's death or to Kawani's future how?
Well, I mean, hopefully we're relying on the good sense of the judge.
Yeah. Is it a man or a woman?
It's a woman.
Okay.
I believe she's a very elderly woman, not with no.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, bruh. You're like 44 years old. Okay, the judge is probably maybe tops 60. Okay, that's not a very elderly woman. Shut up. She's not even that much older than you. Yikes on bikes.
No offense, I only say so because I believe this is her last case and she's retiring, which is part of why they didn't want to move the case to February, because this woman would like to retire.
Wow.
And the vicar, proxy, Stewart, who do their version of justice the best they can, as we now have reconciled and understood this faculty in the system. I don't feel like they're going to put up with this shit. I mean, that's pretty much, I can't speak for the judge, but that's Katie's position, that this is complete trash.
You're complete trash.
Interesting venue to bring a circus tent to. Don't believe it's going to go over well. Just like my attorney has put on record to me in the case with Gabriella that because she doesn't understand the law and her attorney sucks at the law, she's never even going to get to say her circus tent of things that she believes is going to come up, which is why my attorney stapled and truncated. She's not wasting her time. Gabriella's bullshit parental abandonment of parental rights, alongside of my visitation hearing, because she knows one is going to crumble, so the other will happen effectively the same day. Like, these people are disgusting, self-involved, and preoccupied with scapegoating at every level of their life.
Wow.
And it's just like it's really for even that legal society that we don't even buy into. If we just looked at this as courting anywhere, it's really an abuse of these clerks.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm saying this is the David Christopher Jacobs syndrome. These people believe that they exist for their manifoldness of expression.
Their manifoldness, what did he say? Their manifoldness of expression. I don't think that's a thing. Does that sound like, that doesn't sound like a real thing. Did you just make that up? I don't even know what that means. I know what a manifold is, and I know what expression is, but I'm pretty sure you just made that up. That don't even make good sense.
Like, this is their therapy session to say their made-up fantasy that's affecting them.
Yeah.
I would say that is a gross misuse of their legal society on their legal society's terms. And since these slave bricks haven't emancipated themselves from their legal,
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
they should technically be whipped and pillared for mocking the legal society with their excessive dramas.
Okay, so now it feels like I'm getting a better understanding of what's going on here. Okay. And it sounds to me like he is angry that his ex is going to be brought into court and allowed to tell her story, and that he's worried that the jury will have pity on Chloe. But I don't understand if it actually, wait, let me just take that back. It actually sounds like he doesn't actually really care what the jury thinks. What he's angry about is that there's going to be anybody negatively speaking about him. Like, his ego can't handle the fact that her defense team is going to bring up the fact that she was 16 and he was 38 when they met. She was 17 turning 18. She had just turned 18 when she had the baby. So it's like he wants to be left out of this, except for the part that benefits him, which is that was his child too. Chloe took Hannah from both of them, from him, because the state's theory was that Chloe did what she did because she was hurt and angry. She did not want to be in a polygamous relationship any longer. She wanted to be the one and only. And Z told her, hell no, you're one of 3, maybe more if I can. And I'm not changing for anything. Hey, Roro. So to me, that's what his issue is. I don't even think it's actually about anything having to do with his daughter. Because if Jason is testifying, which he did, Jason testified that he thought that yes, Chloe should be punished, but also that she had mental illness and that she should spend, time in a mental institution, but not be written off completely forever. Like she was basically, redeemable. She wasn't evil. She was sick. That was what Jason's argument is. So, and he doesn't go against Z. This is very confusing.
These are intransigent slaves who want to turn the courtroom into their own show and tell.
Yeah.
Except it never happened. This is just their glee club hour,
Yeah.
I can't figure it out, Crime Horse. I have no idea. Jason's on Jason's side and drink. I'll tell you whose side Jason's on. Jason's on the we drink pee side. That's whose team he's on. He's on team drink your own urine.
I hear you.
The only thing, I don't know. I don't even like to give this strength, but, unless it's all, just...
This call will be terminated in 1 minute.
Is this just, entrapment? We come there and we roll this out, and then it immediately turns into me getting taken by the feds for Gabriella's bullshit suit? Is that what
I don't know.
Is that what we're doing here?
Hey, Kimberly.
I really don't think so.
I think I missed something else.
I haven't felt that, but it's just there's this lurking
Yeah.
And you weren't supposed to get taken for some bullshit with David Christopher Jacobs while going to honorably manage the thing with Kyle, so.
I know. It's atrocious.
You're atrocious. Let me tell you what's atrocious.
I'm not going to call you back, man. I want to walk and I want to...
Yeah, let me tell you what's atrocious. Let me just tell you what's atrocious. Your worldviews are atrocious. That hairdo is atrocious. The fact that you don't know that hairdo is atrocious. Y'all's whole thought process is atrocious.
Chill. Can I just call you tomorrow?
I'm feeling complete. It's just...
Oh, you're feeling complete?
This call was terminated.
He's feeling complete, y'all. He's feeling complete. I was really worried about how Z was feeling after all of this. I really was. And, it was really going to I know that it was going to, if I didn't hear that he was complete, just that the fact that it might be up in the air, how he's feeling, was really going to distress me throughout the rest of the day. And I just was going to have a terrible time going to sleep, pondering over, I wonder how Z is feeling. Thank goodness you gave me the closure, Z. Oh my gosh. Yes, Michelle. Yes. Yes, that's exactly. And this as well. Hold on. What Tony says. Yeah, and guess what else? Your damn Voyager is atrocious. Your whole system is atrocious. I don't even the self-importance is too high. All right, so there's only one other call, but like I said, that one was done 4 hours ago, and I really feel like you got to give a creator at least 24 hours, at least, because it might ruin our Thanksgiving. My turkey isn't going to sit right on my tum-tum because I don't know how Z is feeling. What a crybaby. crybaby. You're mad that your ex is gonna testify against you. Like you're so smart. You're the smartest person in all the rooms all the time, and you didn't see that one coming. Like, come on, bruh. No, they don't have a job or income. None. No job and no income. Now I need to know which Kyle they're talking about, and I need to understand why so that, I'm sure nothing is as atrocious as his breath. His soul is atrocious. But yeah, like row. Is there anything worse, I ask you, than an atrocious crybaby? Like, I don't know. I need to figure out what the legal situation is. Honestly, I need to know what charges he's facing. Now, he does talk about abandonment, and that has to do with the child that he has with his ex, and but I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with his whole legal situation. Now, I did hear a rumor that Jason Spillers is no longer in the clink. But he's facing some pretty he's facing some pretty serious charges. The only way that and I just can't see that he's out. Honestly. Hey, Gretchen, good to see you. So I'm going to that's what I heard too, but released how? Because I wonder if perhaps what has happened is he's no longer listed at the Cherokee County jail, because he was only brought there to testify. And he was transferred. And so perhaps what it looks like is that he was released, but he's actually, not extradited, because he already is awaiting trial for these, for Jason is already awaiting trial for these other charges, but he is a witness in this case. So they transferred him to Cherokee so that he could testify. But now that he's testified, that's it. That's all. So he might be going back to his original jail situation. So I bet you that's what happened, and that's why it looks like he's been released. But the truth is, he's gone back to his original jail. Yeah, because he has not faced those charges yet, and those are serious charges. And when he got those charges, the way that I understood his testimony, and believe you me, that just understanding him was a feat in and of itself. And it's not because he is so intelligent that he spoke in such a way that would be that my tiny girly mind couldn't understand it. It's that his answers bordered on, if I were the defense attorney, I was shocked she didn't, but there were points when an objection non-responsive would have been appropriate. But they were long rambles. So yes, Michelle, that's the one we're going to watch. That's the next trial I'm going to cover. So be ready. Let me tell you how the rest of this week is going to shake out. Okay. Obviously tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I might come live for a little bit, catch up with you guys while we're all happy on our tryptophan. I'm going to premiere the Sarah Boone thing that I've been working on Black Friday. And then Saturday or Sunday, or maybe both, we'll catch up on Jessie. I think her last name is Kowalski. Before her trial begins Monday. So, yeah. But that's really all I have for you guys tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate that. I hope you guys have I can't wait for Sarah's sentencing. I cannot wait. I cannot. Because I'll be in my stretchy pants too, Tony. The reason I can't wait is because I want to see what other movie references Mr. J has in his pocket that he's going to pull out. You know, I love a movie reference, especially when it's done accurately. Unlike you, Chad Daybell, who was trying to make a Harry Potter reference and didn't even know that Harry Potter lived with the Dursleys. Dummy. Anywho, Sarah's supposed to speak at her sentencing hearing, and I just really can't wait to hear what mitigating circumstances, factors Mr. Owens pulls out of that binder of unorganization that he used for his closing statement that never ended or never reached an actual point. So, I think he's going. Ro, you think 30? I think she's going to get more than that. I do, and I'll tell you why. Because she lied multiple times on the stand in her direct testimony. And while Judge Cranick allowed her to use the battered spouse defense because what's required is only a scintilla of evidence. And even though you and I likely would not perceive somebody sticking their fingers out of the suitcase a threat, because hello, they're in the suitcase, they're contained. If all they can get is their fingers out, then they're not going anywhere. They're not a threat. He erred, I think, on the side of caution and preserved the record and made it where it's going to be. Sarah will appeal, but I don't think that she really has a chance at a successful appeal, because I think Judge Cranick ruled very effectively. So I think that the only person that believes what Sarah's version of what happened that day is Sarah. I don't think there's anybody on this planet who can look at that evidence and listen to her testimony and her versions of events and think that they even go together at all. Exactly, Gretchen. He let her use the battered spouse defense so there would not be an appeal. And so I think that the evidence really bears out pretty much what Mr. J said in his rebuttal closing argument. I don't think the bat was part of that crime at all. Let me tell you what I think happened. I think that there's a very distinct possibility that George might have been packing his suitcase that night. And I think that it was always upstairs. I think that Sarah had him get into that suitcase. Once he was in that suitcase, she zipped him up, and then she belittled him for being able to fit in a suitcase. And I think what she did was she pushed that suitcase to the edge of the first stair. And I think when she said in her psychiatric evaluation, when she was evaluated during that process, I think when she said that she lost control of the suitcase, I think that's the truth. I think she did. I think she intended to scare George by having it teeter on the top of the stairs, but I think that she did lose control. Gravity is a motherfucker. And I think that it fell down the stairs. I think that's exactly what the neighbors heard. I think that in Sarah's mind, I think because she was successful in having George arrested multiple times for assaulting her. And I think that she thought when she I think she took those videos as evidence. I think she thinks those videos, or at the time, thought that those videos showed her as the victim, not George. Just like when the other videos were shown during the state's rebuttal case, the dynamic that existed between them was very different than the dynamic that Sarah Boone tried to portray. She belittled him. She badgered him. In fact, she was the aggressor. And the times that we watched the body cam footage from other cops' perspective, from their cameras, from the other cops on scene, not the ones that were just released publicly, there were times. There's that one last incident where the officer, you can tell the officer senses that something is amiss, and that perhaps the story they're being fed by Sarah is not the truth, that George is not the aggressor. George is not the one that hit Sarah. In fact, it's the other way around. But without George saying that, his hands are tied. And I think when you take all of that and judge, so that's what I think happened, because the whole I lost control of the suitcase makes zero sense if the suitcase is in the living room. That makes no sense. Yes, I do, Michelle. I do. I remember him crying. I think she's going to get life, Roro. I do. So I think that I don't think there was ever a hide and seek, not that night anyway. And I don't think, if there was, I don't think that George used the suitcase as a place to hide. Her whole story about the suitcase actually doesn't make any sense. It never made sense, but it makes even less sense now that we know that her original story was the reason the suitcase was downstairs at all is because they were going through mainly her son's clothes to give to donate, and they were going to use the suitcase. They were going to put all the things in the suitcase and donate, drop it off, because there's like a clothing drop off box. I think she said it at her son's school. Okay, so when it comes time for testimony and the crime scene investigator opens up gets on the stand and talks about what was in that suitcase, that's where her story, in my opinion, I knew that it wasn't the truth, but that's what confirmed it for me. If you're donating a suitcase and clothing, why would you have personal paperwork in it? Why would you have none of her son's clothing was in there? And why would you have a syringe of diazepam, whether it was an old, like an empty syringe or a full syringe of diazepam? It really doesn't matter. You would empty the suitcase out of your own personal belongings before donating it. That makes absolutely no sense. And this is also another point. This is a good point too. But you wouldn't have the suitcase downstairs and make shovel trips up and down the stairs carrying piles of clothes. You would have left the suitcase upstairs and filled it up. Exactly. I think that the suitcase, I think that George I think he might have actually been gonna leave. Hey, Grandma Sherry. Hey. And the sad thing is, that's going to be one of those questions that we don't ever get an answer to. But I do think that it was all, like Rachel Lee said, it was all a lie. And I think that Judge Cranick is going to sentence her accordingly. Because I think that the overwhelming evidence is that Sarah was the aggressor. She was cruel and sadistic. So, yes, it's going to be like Letitia and the candle. We're never going to know for sure. And I think you're right also, Rachel, that there was much more evidence that than the state used. And I think that part of the reason why the state pared their case down so much is because initially they thought that Sarah Boone was going to represent herself. And even though she ended up with an attorney, she's had attorneys before. And due to Sarah being Sarah, they have left. And I think that is what maybe Mr. J was, preparing for at any time up until the day of the trial. even at the trial, Sarah could have fired Mr. Owens right there in the courtroom in front of God and everybody and represented herself if she wanted to. So I think that's why his case was significantly pared down. But I think that the most compelling evidence, truthfully, isn't any one witness on the stand. I actually think the most compelling evidence are the videos themselves, the suitcase videos, the other videos that were recovered off of Sarah's phone that she took to document the abuse. I think that and the medical examiner's testimony, I think are the most compelling. So anyway, that's really all I got, you guys. I want to thank you guys for being here, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. Well, fuck you.
No malicious intent or effort was towards it.
No malicious. Finish her.
Minutes later.
We all do a little mad sometimes. Oh.